Yo, everyone. I'm in the building. I'm a little bit late, but I'm here to the party. So today I'm going to be reacting to this video by You're Triggered, who I actually am a fan of her page. But this conversation is something I want people to really pay attention to, hear what they're talking about, get what's going on, and we're just going to jump right in because this going to be a long one.
That only black men, no, because I forgot you go ahead and say certain words. Only BLK men, only BMs are protected in the black community, especially if they have bad behavior. And I think that these two men that I've pictured are like a perfect example of that protection. Like they can be horrible people, they can bully people, they can say all these things, they can be aggressive, they can be violent. But the black community still protects these men. But you have
Including the women, especially the women. So let's keep that part there, especially the women, but
BWs, anything they do is up for, you know, critique, criticism, no empathy or anything like that. And and as much as I would like to say that it is just BMs that participate in this, it is not. It is also BWs as well. I'm using initials that way the live doesn't get flagged, just so you guys know. That's the reason why I'm using initials. But yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because, I was looking at the whole 50 Cent and Big Meech situation. I don't care about Big Meech. He's a criminal. 50 Cent is a piece of scum. So I don't really care about their beef. But my issue is that when 50 Cent was doing all of this stuff, saying all this stuff, talking about how there wasn't going to be any more BMF and trolling the Big Meech's son and all of this, I noticed that there was just so much of an overwhelming support for 50 Cent acting crazy and acting up. And I was just thinking to myself, like, if that was any excuse me, if that was any type of black female celebrity, BW, that never would have occurred. That no, there would have been no support for her. Like, look at the backlash that Serena Williams is having strictly for dancing on the stage at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And I think that it is something that is really good to talk about because people constantly talk about why is the black community in the certain state that it's in? Why do the men in our community have such a high rate at deleting each other? Why are they the least employed? Why are they?
so. In retrospect, every race has a high number of unaliving themselves because each race interacts with their race more. Like that's just a straight fact. So to keep saying that it's just black men who unalive themselves at large rates, no, black women do it to themselves. White men, Asian men, Hispanic men, Indian men, they all unalive each other more. Same race on same race crime is more popular than one race to another race because each race tends to gravitate towards people that look like them more than anything. So to keep using that is dumb because if you look at the statistics, it goes that way for every single race. So let that be what it is, but whatever. And then we're not the least employed. I don't think that's true at all, especially with 57% of black men who are employed are in the middle class. 2.5 million black men are in the upper class. And there are more black men who make $100,000 more than black women, but I digress on that one too.
The most disrespectful to the women in their community openly to the whole public and allow not only do they disrespect us, but they encourage other people to do so. I wish that people would make the connection that a lot of that is because simply that we allow a culture of protection for BMs and we definitely make a culture and a space for BMs with bad behavior. And we constantly make excuses. You got Kanye West, who people still call a genius, still speak positively about him.
Musically, Kanye is a genius. Like I'm not defending Kanye, but musically, Kanye is a genius. Graduation, I don't care what nobody say. If Graduation is still one of the best hip hop albums ever produced, almost 20 years later. So you can take whatever you want with that. And again, this isn't a jab, as simply said, but like using Kanye over somebody like Future or somebody like NBA YoungBoy is crazy because to throw Kanye out there, who's kind of responsible for a little bit of a shift in hip hop from the gangster culture, is crazy because he was responsible for that in some degree. Him, Lupe, you know what I'm saying? They kind of started to switch the game up a little bit. But to just kind of throw Kanye over there when you got a lot of other bad examples who are probably more so worse than Kanye, considering Kanye married the woman he had 4 kids with. So he's already a step above most of the other rappers, is insane to me. But, I digress.
Still was going and watching his whack Sunday services as he blasphemed, all of these different things, and was making excuses for him. The man said that slavery was a choice, acting like there wasn't so many slave rebellions and revolts all over the world, especially in America. Had the audacity to say all of these other things that were bootlicker statements, and and then he's still regarded as a genius, which makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? It makes absolutely no sense. And um I just I really think that we'll never be able to get anywhere because I feel like BWs, we're the ones that have to first start with the lack of acceptance of BMs with bad behavior. Because just like how there are so many black women that will be under posts of Meg the Stallion, calling her out of her name, calling her a liar, talking about free Tory and all these type of things. A lot of the things that go on in the black community regarding this could not continue if black women specifically did not participate as well.
But that's what we've been telling y'all. Like, we've literally been telling y'all this. We've been saying, hey, stop rewarding these niggas for their bad behavior and you'll see a change. We've literally been telling y'all this. We've been going back and forth with y'all for the last 5 or 6 years about this. If y'all didn't enable it and reward them and support them and try to baby them all the time, this wouldn't be a problem. This is exactly what black men have been saying. Like, we haven't been stuttering when we say it. We've been very straightforward about it. So yes, I agree with you. Like I said, I actually really like your trigger because she is honest about certain things. And yes, we've been saying this. Now, I do kind of blame the men a little bit, and I will get into that a little bit later. But I do blame the older black men from when the millennials, such as myself, were kids because they're responsible for some of this too. But I'll let her finish.
Because we can't control the actions of BMs, but we can control our actions and what we do. And I just frankly just think that something's got to give because you know I saw like 50 Cent's son, the one that he doesn't talk to, had made a post, I guess, trolling the dude, the boy from BMF. And I saw all of these people attacking this man's son and talking about, oh, you didn't respect your dad. You didn't respect 50 Cent. You didn't 50 Cent is he did y'all a favor. He did y'all a favor and all of these other things, which he didn't do them a favor. He did a business move that, benefited him as well. And also 50 Cent, if he do anything for you, I don't know why you would even let him do nothing for you, because soon as he fall out with you or he get mad at you about something, he about to tell the world about everything that he did for you. So did he really do something for you? If he's ready to talk about it, the minute y'all fall out or get into any type of disagreement, he's bringing it to the internet. But anyway, beyond that, this man's other baby mama had already said that he wasn't a good father. He didn't see the son that she has with him. And I just wish that, like, really in the black community, we would stop making BMs feel as if they can do whatever, cause whatever havoc, be any type of horrible individual, and then we're still going to accept them and uplift them and say, oh, they're one of the icons in our community. They're important. Like, he's not important.
If that person wasn't important, they wouldn't have the respect and love that they get. So what I mean by that is I work with people who literally say Jay Z is one of the leaders of our community, and I look at Jay Z as a scumbag because I don't think Jay Z does for the community. I've yet to see a leader who, you know what I'm saying? People who we call our leaders of our community don't do anything for our community. And Jay Z is, in my opinion, a prime example. Unless somebody can prove me wrong, but I don't see Jay Z openly talking to black people. Yo, black people, we got to get together and da da da. I don't see him doing that. I don't see him actively helping build up neighborhoods and stuff like that. Again, I could be wrong, but I have yet to see it. So she is correct on this one because I don't think like the rappers should be our leaders, but everyone in the black community, for the most part, not everyone, I say about 80% of black people, really like this idea of being in the cool kids club. And when I say that, it goes from like 15 to like 45, 50. You even got some people in their 60s still trying to act like they in their 20s, in their 60s, because they want to be a part of the cool kids club and they don't want to say the things that make sense because it doesn't make them sound cool. So I do dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
And that's something that I really would like to talk about. Cinefu says, since when are black men protected? And this type of delusion is exactly what I'm talking about too. Black men are very protected. Black men are coddled. Black men are given excuses as to why they engage in bad behavior, why it's okay for them to make music and entertain.
When people try to hold those men accountable, they get told that they hate their own people. So, I mean, what do you want those people to do? There are people out there who actively try to hold these men accountable for the shit that they do, but that same man who's holding that person accountable gets told he hates his own people. So, what is he supposed to do? He's holding them accountable, but nobody wants to hear him because, again, the cool kids club still has to be a participant factor to this. So there you go. It's not that black men are protected because they are, but these are the black men who are protected. The black men who do what they're supposed to do, we don't get no protection. We get narked on harder than the men who destroy the community. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's the culture.
Entertainment that destroys the black community. You think that Kanye West and 50 Cent are geniuses, probably, even though both of them have done a lot of harm to the black community, just as much as any racist non-black person would do. 50 Cent made music that encouraged young black men to think that violence and all of these other things are okay things to engage in. He glorified it. Glorified doing narcotics, DRUGs, but had the nerve to say in the interview that he doesn't do anything at all. He doesn't even drink alcohol. Anyway, it's really disgusting. And number one, Shao says decenter BMs, and that's a very, very complicated thing to say, in my opinion. Now, when you say as a black woman, decenter BMs, now you can decenter them as far as getting in a romantic relationship with a BM, absolutely, if that's your choice. But you can't decenter BMs wholeheartedly. First of all, they'll probably be in the community that you're in. And even if you live in a bougie community like mine, there's still BMs around. Maybe not the type of BMs that you would want to be like, ill, but you know what I'm saying?
And if you were to have a child and you had a son, even if you had a white husband, your son would still be black. Y'all never think that far ahead, do y'all?
Still there. Not to mention that there's a such thing as the black community, which is made up of both of us. There's no way to escape that. You know what I'm saying? Like, your daddy's black, your brother's black. You know what I'm saying? If you have children, even if you have children from someone else, they'll be biracial. And depending on how they look, a lot of times they may be looked at as regarded to the world as a black person. They won't be black, but they'll be biracial. But still, if you get my drift. So it's like, at what point do we say that we want to break down the ideology of what is causing BMs to be this way? You know what I'm saying? And like, you have this loser here in the comments, kid 827, which is probably actually a kid, saying shout out to 50 Cent. Like, does he know that you're here? Like, what? Well, why would you be saying that here? Like, you don't think that's groupie
Hi.
behavior? Hey, how you doing?
So I just got a question. How are black men being protected in the community?
Okay, I'll tell you. Black men are being protected in the community by black women and also by black men because no matter what type of horrible behavior they engage in, there's always an excuse allowed to be made for that behavior. So if a BM, goes to jail or prison for harming somebody in the community, even unaliving somebody, or even unaliving his girlfriend, baby mama, or something like that, it's always an excuse. The black man has it so hard, it's the white T man's fault. Oh, when people talk about the effect that the genre of hip hop, rap, drill music has had on the black community, you ever try to have real conversations about it with VMs? It's, oh, they just needed the money.
So the issue I have with that statement is any black man who moves like that is the most respected person in the community. And black men have talked about this. We have called this out. We have actively made this an issue as a call to action. And what happens is the women keep making excuses like, oh, I didn't know he was like that. Yes, you did. Or, oh, those are real men. You hear women on TikTok all the time talking about that's the type of dude they want to be with. So even if he was an unaliver, how am I supposed to hold him accountable when that's what she wanted to be with and she knew who he was? This is what we're talking about. We can't even hold these dudes accountable because the women, more times than not, are going to protect them before the men do. Yes, you have those men who do protect them, and those dudes get on my nerves more. But the problem comes in when the fact that the women are actively saying, these are the type of men we want to be with. These are the men we have kids with. These are the men we wanted to be with. So what are we supposed to do? There are a lot of men who try to hold these dudes accountable and they get again told they hate their community. There's even probably some women out there who will. And they still get told you're an Uncle Tom, house nigga, you hate your people, you're anti-black, let black people be black people. So apparently being this type of person makes you a black man. Congratulations. This is the culture we created.
No, they had no choice but to do this. They never take any responsibility of selling out the black community and just thinking, hey, if I'm not able to have millions of dollars by selling out my community, then I'll just have to figure out another way. Or you have a black men that have engaged in bad behavior, like 50 Cent, someone that has already been accused of bad parenting from not only his first baby mother, but his second baby mother. They have both said the exact same things, but people still regard him as some type of influence in the black community, even though he makes content that is damaging and harmful to the black community. You're making all of these crime shows, and regardless of people say, well, that's something that shouldn't be part of the black culture. Why you didn't make a Harry Potter? Why you didn't make a series about black people doing magical fantasies? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it always narcotics and violence and criminality? And making black men look like violent animals that only know how to be bad. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Sure.
So, do you believe that black men are only capable of violence?
I don't think that black men are only capable of violence. However,
Okay.
I do think that black
Hold on.
men are no,
Hold on.
it's not a hold on. I think though, however, that black men are the most violent to their women statistically here in the United States. And they're the most
Oh
violent to
God.
each other in the United States. And that is factual. So you
No,
make
that
the
isn't.
call. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Black women,
Well, then
excuse me.
I'm going to ask for your sources.
Now, what I
I'm
like to
going to ask
do,
for your
okay,
sources.
just a second. What I like to do, I'll give you my sources right now. You can go to Google and check this out. Black women make up 10% of the population of women in the United States, yet they make up 59% of the unalivings of women.
I'm
Over
going to
95.
ask,
And wait a
what
minute,
are
please
your
don't interrupt.
sources?
Please don't interrupt. I don't have to give you my source is Google. All you have to do is plug this in into Google and it will give it to you right away. So you can check
Okay,
this
well
out
then let me
yourself.
see it right now.
Okay, so once again,
Well then let me see it right.
okay, first of all, please don't interrupt me. Let me get out my stat that I'm saying. So once again, since he interrupted me, because I want everyone to know, if you unmute yourself one more time and you say anything, I'm gonna drop you. Okay. All right. So now that we got that clear, the boundaries in place. Black
I can't
women
let you
make up.
make any
Okay. So
sense
let me go
without
ahead and
any.
drop you. Have a great day. Have a great day, Baldy. Now, as I was saying,
I think that dude just wasn't trying to hear what she was trying to say. Um, what she was getting at, I actually do kind of understand what she was getting at. What she was saying, like we are. I don't know if black women are 10% of the women in the population, given the fact that the black community is 13% of the population, men and women, and if you add in mixed people, is 15%. And I believe it's not a split down the middle type situation, but black women do outnumber black men 52 to 48. Maybe if you break down just women, they probably are 10% of the population. But making up 59% of the female unalivings is unfortunate, but I'm not going to be insensitive when I say this. But again, a lot of these unalivings of black women would be avoidable if they just didn't actively choose the men who live their lifestyle. A lot of those women were unalive due to just being associated with that person. So that right there is an issue. Then you got to think of the black women who were dating those dudes who got unalived by those dudes because that's what they wanted to be with. Every black man doesn't just walk around gung ho ready to unalive a sister. Like that's just not happening like that. It's just not happening like that. Then you got to think of the fact that a lot of black women also tend to unalive amongst each other because, like I said earlier, same race violence is more common than like different racial violence. That's just not really unsolvable. The unfortunate reality is a lot of these women say it's exciting that I could get shot up in this car right now. Somebody could pull up on this car right now, and it's exciting to me. You hear them say it all the time. Just go to TikTok. Black women are actively exposing themselves on TikTok, and black men are just looking at that and adjusting. If black women are having a hard time running into black men who wouldn't do this, it's because they openly say out loud on the internet they don't want that type of dude that doesn't do this stuff. Now, does that make what the men are doing okay? No, absolutely not. But again, these are the same men we can't hold accountable because, again, we get told we don't like our own people if we do that. So you have to put that into perspective as well. But this guy who came on there, it's like he wasn't trying to hear her out. And I get it. She dropped him, man. She should have. Because, nigga, what is you doing? Listen to her. So, yeah, no. She had a right to kick him off.
this is a fact. Fact check me. Go online. Black women make up 10% of the female population in the United States, and they make up 59% of the unalivings of women. And over 95% of the time, that unaliving is due to a black man. Black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived than other races of women. Once again, it is 9 times out of 10 at the hands of a black man. Those are facts. Look them up.
So actually, black women make up about 15.4% of the U.S. population of women, specifically. About 49% of black women are girls under 18, that's a lot. That is a lot. And the average age for black women in America is about 36, whereas every other woman in the country is 40. So the black community is relatively young, is what that means. Like that's exactly what that means. So she was close. So actually, it's about 15% for black women instead of 10. So that's actually pretty interesting.
Fact check me. I double dog dare you. Black men also unalive each other the most compared to other demographics of men. So much so that doctors want to call it a health epidemic. Black men's number one cause of unaliving is at the hands of another black man. Homicide, pew pew violence. That is a fact. A fact. So I have no idea why y'all are acting like these things aren't true. They are absolutely true. Absolutely factual. I will add anybody up here that can tell me that that is not true. Anybody. GB says you're making this up. Not making up anything. It's a fact. It's a fact. And that's my thing with BMs is that y'all are faced with the facts of a situation, like facts that you cannot get out of, stats that you cannot get out of, and y'all cannot comprehend or acknowledge the truth. And that's the reason why y'all will consistently be in this area. It's a fact. I just can't. I can't. And then it's like when y'all ask me like what website, it's like, are y'all that slow that y'all can't go to Google or enter it yourself? Like I'm in a live right now, so I clearly can't stop and go get it. It's like, be for real. Like honestly. And just like this person JG who says turn the TV off. I don't, what are you talking about? Turn the TV off. These are factual stats. These things are happening where you are, where I am, where everybody is. And it's very upsetting that y'all cannot handle the truth.
So the unfortunate reality is, yeah, black women are more likely to be alive by black men, like 6 times more likely to be unalived. And something that I also discovered, which might prove my point on the men that they choose to be with, black women in the U.S. are more likely than white women to be unalived by a firearm. No common disparities there. So the unfortunate reality is that black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived, which is unfortunate, and one is too many. But the also thing that we got is the other factor here is they're more likely than white women to be unalived by a firearm, which means they are more likely to be shot than any other race of women. Which is interesting because who do we know running around here toting Glocks all the time? The niggas with bodies, the niggas with felons, the niggas that got Toms on them, the niggas with all the, the dudes that tend to have more baby mamas than the average dude, and the hood dudes and the drug dealers and the scammers. Their favorite type of dude, thanks to TikTok, exposing that is kind of funny because you don't hear about Russell Wilson and all them type of dudes unaliving their women. So unfortunately, the disparity to the numbers do add up, but unfortunately, it does have a part to play in what makes black women wet in the pants. So let's keep that part on the table.
Y'all talk about that y'all want facts over feelings and y'all want logic and all of these things, like, and y'all can't handle it when faced with it. And just like Shannon says, look inward, you look inward. You're the man, you're the black man, you're the one that is incarcerated the most, that is the least employed. I don't need to look inward because the stats for black women aren't like that. So what are we talking about? Like, you need to look inward, not me. Anyway, like I said, kid 827, you're an idiot. Like, for real. I said what I said. I said what I said, and what I said is accurate. And you know that it's accurate. That's why y'all not giving me any type of debunk me. Go look it up. Come back. I'll add you up. Please debunk me. Debunk what I said. Debunk the fact that black men are unaliving each other the most. And that a black man's number one cause of unaliving is homicide at the hands of another black man. Please fact check me. Fact check me. Is that not true? Is it not true that black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived by their men, which are black?
So to clarify the unemployment thing, it seems like black people in general tend to be more unemployed than any other race with a 5.8%. So it ain't just black men. Y'all are the least employed as well. Black people as a whole are the least employed demographic. So to constantly try to keep making it seem like black men just ain't out here moving is crazy, bro. It is crazy. That's one part where you lost me because y'all are just as unemployed as we are. Y'all might have more employment, but y'all are still the least employed out of women, based off of what I'm saying. It seems like Hispanics seem to be 3.8, white people are 3%, Asians are 2.7. So they're the least unemployed, whereas white people are second, Hispanics are, third, and then we're the most unemployed by about 2%. So that's black people in general.
black men than any other race of women are here in the United States? Is that not factual? Yes, it is. So it's like, what are y'all talking about? And y'all keep saying not true, but y'all know that it's true. That's what's crazy. It's literally insane to me. Oh my goodness. Like, okay, I'll start off here with Madam Fifi. Go ahead, Madam Fifi. And then I'll go to Anaya and then Aqua.
Good to see you again.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I just want to be up here for a couple of seconds because I always find it funny. You literally are saying black men are protected. These men swear they're not the men that you're talking about. So then y'all are protecting the black men that do these things. So y'all are literally doing the thing right now. And it's so fucking annoying because we're literally like it's literally Googleable. The guy that was just up here, you're literally doing the thing. And you want me to give you exact websites when you can literally go Google it? It's like we allow black men to be willfully obtuse because they're so hard to talk to. They're so hard to communicate with that so often we just say screw it. But then when we say screw it, we allow them to live in this world where they're the quote unquote most desirable man in the world and they are this or that. Like we allow.
I never agreed with that talking point. I really don't think black men are the most desired men in the world. I mean, I guess there are women out there that like fetishize us. So like sexually, yeah, we probably are desired, but the most desired doesn't. I don't think that's. I don't think that's true. It sounds nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like we'll never know what the most desired man in the world is because everybody tends to have a preference. It's not like every woman of every race is like, give me a black man, because that's clearly not the case. So, would they have sex with a black man? There are some women who say never. So, it just be like that. I don't think we're the most desired race of men, or we might be, sexually, like I said before, but that doesn't make us the most desired men as a whole.
Allow them to live in these spaces because they're so hard to communicate with that we just let it go. But then we end up still having these situations going on. But they're literally doing a thing right now. You're protecting the black. If we're not talking about all black men, there's still black men that we're talking about right now. And you're protecting them. You're protecting the ones that is unaliving these women. You're protecting the ones that are doing these things right now by trying to argue it. If she ain't talking to you, if it don't apply, let it fly. But y'all up here protecting the bad men that she's talking about, which makes you a bad man. So anybody that's coming up here to try to argue her down, I don't care if you've never unalived a woman. I don't care if you've never been in jail. You are literally protecting those individuals, so it makes you just as culpable for the bull crap that's going on in our community. And I'm a laying there.
Okay. All right, Madam Fifi. Thank you for coming up, sis. I just wanted to respond real quick to Sensei in the comments. Like, you keep asking what's the root cause of the problem. I think I already just mentioned the root cause of the problem. The root cause of the problem is constantly protecting black men, constantly coddling black men, also black men engaging in behaviors that they know is harmful to themselves and also to the black male youth, which is making content like 50 Cent does and other rappers that are purposely.
If that's the case, then boycott it. If it mattered that much to you, boycott it. We don't want to see the content anymore. We don't want to hear this music anymore. We don't want this, but no one boycotts it. Everyone listens to it. Even the women who complain about these things go and listen to the music, go and watch the content. All these Tyler Perry shows are out of pocket. Beauty and the Black and all the Queen's Men, these shows are out of pocket for the images of black men and women together, but nobody goes and boycotts them. Look at P Valley and BMF and all them shows. No BMF, is it Big Black Mafia Family? Yeah, BMF and Power and all them shows. Black people are still lining up every day to watch them, to consume them, to worship that attitude, to worship that behavior. You don't see black people protesting this stuff, men or women, because the women are sexually attracted to the men on those shows and the men are addicted to the lifestyle because they get sold that that's what they're supposed to be like. So here we are again at a standstill because if people didn't value this stuff and if we didn't really want to see it anymore, we wouldn't watch it. Food for thought.
Damaging to black men in the black community, there is a reason that black men are the most violent to their women in the United States. There is a reason why black men are the most violent to each other in the United States. And you guys can report this live all you want to because you cannot hear the facts or accept it. You know what I'm saying? But it is the truth. And I'm not saying that white people don't have something to do with a lot of the things that occurred, but it's the choice of the BM to continue to go down the same path. Like y'all can't even accept real facts and real statistics that I'm telling y'all now. Y'all can't accept them. And that's a problem. Okay, let me go over here too. Go ahead, Anaya.
Um, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Although I'm British, I do like live in between London and America. And I think that it's definitely more of a prevalent issue over there in America. And the problem is Black American women are.
Okay. All right, she's gone. I don't feel comfortable in having a person that is not even American talking about Black American women or what Black American people are doing. Like, why do you want to be over here in American business? Please go to the UK and talk to the people that are your people. But you can get from over here. Go put some beans on some toast or something. Respectfully, like I don't care about your perspective. Sorry about that. Now, if we're talking about something that accepts like Black women specifically, that is not, you're not American though. So we're not going to talk about it. And you're not going to talk about what you think Black American women are when you're not a Black American woman. Like, does that make sense? Do you think that it would be okay for me to talk about British women, British Black women? Huh? Don't you think that would be odd? Like, it's so funny that y'all really love Americans and love to be in our business and our jocks so much. It's really weird. But anyway, not today, sis. Not today. I rebuke that. So go somewhere on British talk, okay? Have a great day. All right, go ahead, Aqua.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? What's up? So, I agree with some of what you're saying. So, like for me, so I'm 30, right? And I feel like the older I get, the more nonsense the least nonsense I tolerate. Like, for example, so to speak into this prompt, why are black men like the only ones protected? Um, I don't think we are protected, but I think we gotta, I don't know, I feel like we gotta lock down on our culture. And what I mean by that is every time you see like a King Von or you see like a such and such get locked up, you be, hey, free bro, free bro, free bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Chicago. When the Bond got unalive, I said good riddance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it a being with you. These people that are menaces to society, they need to be locked up. We gotta stop saying free such and such, free such and such. And then when the sexy red come out, this sexy red, she the most despicable person on this earth. But you supporting this dude with double homicides. Like, it don't make no sense.
I agree. I agree straight up on that one. I don't like Sexy Red at all. She disgusts me, but I keep that same energy for a lot of male artists I don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So it just be like that. Honestly, I agree with him. I really think we got to get a lockdown on our culture, get a hold on it, get the Sexy Reds and the King Vons and them out of here. I mean, Good Riddance is wild, but yeah, no, they need to get locked up. Like, I did not care about the Gunna situation. I was like, yo, just Rico charges was up the wall. He had admitted that he unalived some people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that we're allowing people to put this on our music. Like, black people are the only ones who put this on our music, glorify it, and then sell it to the black community and say, look, I'm a hero. And then black people want to defend it. So no, I agree with him. I definitely agree with him. And I've always stood on that. The black male image as far as music is fucked because of that. So yeah, I prefer people like Leon Bridges, Kendrick Lamar. I don't love Drake, but I don't mind him as much as some of the others. I love J. Cole. I do love Nas to this day. I do still listen to old Kanye because old Kanye is still the truth. I love Lupe Fiasco. Um, I listen to a lot of other stuff. Like, I do love Wu Tang Clan. I do love Tribe Called Quest and things like that. I just cannot get down with the gangster drill music. I can't get down with it, man. And I definitely think those people need to be removed from the mainstream so we can kind of cleanse this out.
I feel
Okay.
like people just need to be consistent across the board. If we really want to clean up our community, we gotta clean up our community. We can't pick. We can't be team man or team women. We gotta call out BS across the board.
Okay. All right. All right, Aqua. All right. Let me go over here to Supervillain and then Rose and then Highway Dre. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Hey, Triggered. Let me do
Hey,
some
sis.
house cleaning. Y'all tap up the live, protect the live. Triggered is doing Mother Nature's work, so please help her by protecting the live. Bring up the taps, gift the host. Number two, tens across the board. Triggered with dropping that. I don't even know what to call her. I don't understand why people love to be in Black American women's business so much. We are never over in British or
Exactly.
Ugandan, or we are never in none of these people's lives talking trash
Exactly.
about them.
Because I don't
Never ever.
care.
Never ever. I did want to say I had like I want to say similar or adjacent discussion this morning. If you let me, I just want to get this off my chest. I'm being really perturbed by all the mock videos I'm seeing of Serena Williams doing the Sea Walk at that halftime show. And when I call it out, I'm like, why aren't other Black men calling out these dumbass Black men doing these imitations? Again, and that's why I say it's adjacent. Those Black men are protecting these idiots because they're saying, oh, it's art. It's just a form of a comedy. But my thing is, why do you have to take stuff that is iconic and make it always a it's like a humiliation ritual, especially when it comes to Black women. Triggered, I'm very bothered by this. People don't even know the history of why Serena was actually doing the Sea Walk in that halftime show, and they need to go and research it. My thing is, y'all will always protect degeneracy, but the things that y'all supposed to uplift, y'all will never talk about. This is an American athlete that is one of the greatest of all time. I don't see them doing Jordan or LeBron or nobody else gets. I don't see them doing it because it's a Black woman. I just want to say America, with its racist ass history, as much as all the policies were put into place to keep specifically Black women down, that they're great. Even America can acknowledge that Serena is one of the greatest athletes of all time. Sha'Carri Richardson, one of the fastest.
I don't think anyone would disagree that Serena Williams isn't one of the greatest athletes of all time. I've been hearing about Serena Williams ever since I was a child. She is one of the best tennis players. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as say she's the best tennis player in women's sports of all time. And that's straight up what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think the issue with the crip walk thing is don't quote me on this because I could be wrong because I think her sister unfortunately was unalived by a crip situation back in like 2001. I think a lot of people think it's weird to go up there wearing blue doing the crip walk. I kind of get it, but at the same time, she wasn't doing it to celebrate the crip activity. So yeah, I do get why people are upset, but I'm also like, come on, man, it was cute. She had that flow going. She had the little outfit on. She had the hair spinning. You know what I'm saying? She was cute. You feel me? But that's just my opinion. But the issue comes in where it's like everyone's saying that if people across the world are talking about Black American women, that means y'all are going to other countries acting a damn fool. Is what that means. We saw that video of Suki Hana in London yelling, eating the bull butt out on camera in front of the people, and they're looking at her like she's crazy. So it's not that where people are in your business, you're probably going overseas to act a damn fool in front of them. Then on top of that, you acting a damn fool over here. So the world is seeing how y'all act. I digress.
One of all time, and the most decorated American athlete is a Black woman, which is Simone Biles. Even with America's racist history, they can acknowledge that. But Black men, what do? They make shorts and videos and stunts about iconic Black women, and they also protect these men who do it. That's the part that I don't understand, because there's always going to be a degenerate. But why are y'all protecting these men? Y'all should be calling them.
I don't think anybody made fun of Sha'Carri Richardson or Simone Biles. What is she talking about? Maybe somebody, but for the most part, Simone Biles is celebrated because A, she got married. She don't got a bunch of baby dads. She married the dude of her life. She got married wearing her real hair. And let's keep it a buck. The people who gave Simone Biles the most hell was black women. Y'all gave Simone Biles more hell than we ever did. We were happy for Simone Biles. We said, good. She got married. She doesn't have a bunch of kids. She's with one dude. Good for her. Good for him. They look happy together. They look like they have a healthy relationship. Black men are happy for her. It was black women who said, girl, you should have wore a wig. Girl, your hair look crazy. This, that, and the third. They came at Simone Biles, not us. But whatever, yo.
Out. A lot of these guys that y'all protecting should be at the bottom of a river, and that's why I'm really pissed off. And I just wanted to come up and say my 2 cents, because it's always, I'm not the good guy. It's nobody I know in my circle, but it's absolutely somebody you know. And when you do know it's somebody, y'all do nothing about it. What y'all actually do is protect them. I'm just so pissed off with all of this, to be honest, and it really irked my nerve. But I'm gonna yield there. Thank you, Trigger.
Okay, no problem, super villain. Hey, I just wanted to respond real quick to the person in the comments that keeps saying, like,
My bad, y'all.
Black women took like food stamps and welfare and stuff to for black men to not be in the house. First of all, that's already been debunked. Number one, that lets me know that you're grossly uneducated. But number two, let's just say in a fantasy world, because it's not true, that this happened. If you have a woman that is willing to accept aid from the government, as opposed to having you there with your presence because you cannot provide for her, yourself, or the family, who is the failure in that scenario? You're no longer a man. You can't even take care of the family that you created and are trying to have. So exactly why would you want to be around a woman and children that you cannot provide for? Wouldn't you want them to make sure that they are able to eat and have a place to sleep and lay their head? Like, make that make sense. You want them to what? Be on the street, cold and hungry and alone with you because you can't provide for your family? Like, what sense does that make? It makes no sense. And it's like, y'all say that all the time as if that would be some type of indictment on black women. It would still be the indictment on you because you weren't providing back then, and you're still the race of men that has the lowest labor force participation rate. You're the least employed. And black women are the most employed out of all races of women. So what does that tell you? Black women have always said, hey, you know what? We're going to have to take care of ourselves because nobody else is going to do it. So once again, research, bro. Like, it's not that hard. You got a very expensive piece of machinery in your hand. Golly. Okay, go ahead, Rose. Let me send you a request to turn your mic on. Go ahead, Rose. Let me see. Rose, you there? Okay, Rose. Well, I'll go move forward to Highway Dre, and then whenever you unmute yourself, you can go ahead and come in. Okay, I sent Highway Dre a request to turn his mic on. You can go ahead, Highway Dre.
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on? What's going on,
Hey,
Trigger? You want to say your name or just call you Trigger or what?
Oh yeah, you can call me Trigger. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm just here more for some education. I've been here a little while, so I've been listening a little bit to what you're saying, but I can't help but think that this is like some kind of Cynthia G stuff you got going on. So
right.
I just want.
So no, I'm going to cut you off right there. And then I'll let you speak in 1 second. This is exactly what I say. The problem with the black community: black men talk about submission, talk about leadership, talk about all of these things. But the minute there's any critique going their way, they make this like, oh, we're bashing. I said nothing to bash black men. I didn't say all black men were no good. I'm married to a black man. Been married for 15 years. I didn't say all black men were bad. All black men were unalivers. All black men were rapists. I didn't say anything like that. What I said was things that were actually factually true. I said black women make up 10% of the female population. That's a fact. They make up 59% of the unalivings. That's a fact. And 9 times out of 10, sometimes even 10 times out of 10, depending on where you are, the person that's putting them in the dirt is a black man. That's a fact. Black men's number one cause of unaliving is homicide. And 99% of the time, in those cases, it's a black man. That's a fact. There's a problem with the culture in the community of glorifying crime, violence, degradation, all of these things that black men perpetrate, like 50 Cent, Kanye West, others. That's a fact. How was that bashing when that is a fact? So that's my thing. Please don't come up here talking about Cynthia G, because I know what Cynthia G say. I ain't say nothing like she said. I just said something that is a fact. So and half the time, if you listen to Cynthia G, And she says things that the way she says it may not be palatable for somebody because she says it with no chill. She does it. She does it with no chill. But it still doesn't mean that half of the stuff that she's saying is not true. You know what I'm saying? So I just, we're not going to do that whole Cynthia G game and try to make it like I hate all black men or this is an attack black men. Because when y'all want to come up here and talk about weaves and wigs and single mothers and child support, and you want to say, oh, we're just trying to talk about what black women be doing to us, black women. When somebody attempts to tell you that black women, you're just bashing black women, y'all say that is, oh, you guys just don't want to be accountable. Y'all can't hear the truth. Y'all can't do this and that, even though weaves and wigs are not ruining the black community or any of these things. So don't do that. Because that's not what they said. And nothing you can say can educate me because everything I just told you was factual. So let me keep going forward. Go ahead, Bella. Belle, maybe I'll get back to you, Highway Dre, or maybe I won't because you started off the whole wrong way. Go ahead, Belle.
I just want to say one simple Google search. Like I literally went on Google and typed in like 5 words, and you will get the information that you need to get to see what is causing the protection of black men in our society. And then when you guys come on platforms and don't hold your brothers accountable, that is exactly what you're doing. The Bureau of Justice Statistics and the CDC both have black women being unalived by their partners as the highest group in America. Black women.
Again, it still comes down to who they're dating. And I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed situation. Like, right? But I'm saying they don't even try to date a dude who doesn't play in the street sometimes. They refuse to try it. Now, I can admit that there are some dudes who don't play in the streets, but he's still a bitch ass nigga too. Let's keep it a buck. But that is the case often, is that they will play in the streets with the dudes that they know they shouldn't play with and then try to roll up and get Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is an afterthought. He's never the first choice, not most times, not in this community. And there's so many men who would love to be kind to their women, especially black men, but we know that dries y'all up. Not all of you, but a good amount of you. And that is the unfortunate reality that we have to deal with.
Women are unalived by their partners more than any other group of women in America. That's a fact. That's nobody's making that up. It's literally there in government database, statistically marked.
Also, sorry to pause again. There's a video out there where the woman's basically admitted there's something about a gangster that he was just put you down for talking to him any type of way. He could kill you or beat you down, whatever. So they like that shit. She spoke for a lot of women that day, in my opinion. I'm not saying all of you, but a large amount of you do. And that's just the facts.
Down as a fact. You guys come on here and then say things like, oh, not all black men. Obviously, not all black men. I'm married to a black man, so obviously not all black men. But not holding your peers, your brothers, the black men in the community accountable for why the space is the way that it is, you guys are the problem. Period.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Belle. It's very strange. And you know, they oftentimes use like somebody just said in the comments, socioeconomic status. Well, if that's the case, then why is it that poor races of people, like poor white people, poor Asian people, they're not doing these things at the same level and rate that you are? And how come black women aren't doing the things at the rate that you are then? Because black women are in the same socioeconomic situation that you are in. Why are they not doing this? Why aren't your numbers of unalivings at the hands of black women sky high instead of below 2%? I mean, these are things that I would like y'all to answer.
Because a lot of the times we don't stay long enough for y'all to do that to us. Like usually we'll stay for abuse for the most part, but once it gets to the point where you could kill us, we don't stay. Because it's easier for us to just get up and leave than it is for a woman to. That's just reality, man. It's easier for a man to get up and leave a situation than it is for a woman. So on that case, there's reasons for why that doesn't happen. And let's be honest, DV numbers are even. And a lot of cops have even said it. If we broke down how many times a man could report to the cops that he's being abused by a woman, the numbers would be equal. But we can't do that. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the DV numbers have been proven that the DV situations are more prevalent in lesbian relationships than heterosexual or same male relationships. But, I'm wrong for saying that.
But y'all never answer without deflecting. And it's very strange to me. And just like how all of y'all said it was cap, and just like Bill said, it's a quick Google search will tell you that everything that I'm saying is accurate.
5 words will get you all the statistics that you need to see to show you. Like, nobody's making this up. You guys are creating the society that we live in, and none of them want to take accountability for any of that. Everything is, like you said, wigs and weaves and single moms. Who's building the society? Who's creating? You guys want to take accountability when it's, men create the world that we live in. Men can't do anything without women. Y'all want to take the accountability then when it's praise and it's good, but then not when it's damning for your community. You're creating the community.
It's crazy because, when we talk about submission and leadership, and the first thing you ask a lot of these Black men that come on live, Black women don't let me lead them. Black women don't let me tell them what to do. Black women don't let me be in charge. Well, if you're in charge, don't leaders take accountability for everything that's going on? Like when you have a CEO of a company, doesn't he shoulder the responsibility for everything that's going on in the company from the top to the bottom, even if he didn't directly do these things? So y'all want to be the leaders with no accountability, which is very strange. You know what I'm saying? And Miles Woods that said that the point, what are you going to do about it? I think that we can all see that Black women can't really do anything about it. All we can do is call attention and hope that eventually enough of you guys will stop being, butthurt about the truth and actually talk to your brothers, because y'all are afraid to address each other, because most of the lives I see, about 95% of them, y'all are talking about women, and y'all are talking about that you don't like women's hair, you don't like their weaves, they don't let you tell them what to do, and you want them to submit to you and go 50-50. I don't see y'all talking about, hey, you know what? We need to get 50 Cent off the air. He's pushing harmful narratives that are influencing young Black men. I never see that. I never see. Okay, so once again, I said that I don't see the majority of Black men speaking that way. And notice, and neither does anyone else on this panel. I can definitely speak for the women. No one sees that. So once again, like I said, and I can tell that you guys are doing that, because where are the movements? Who started BLM? Not y'all, not Black men. So once again, where are the movements that Black men have started?
Yeah, Black women did start Black Lives Matter, and then the same women who started Black Lives Matter stole all that charity money. So let that sink in, because that's exactly what happened. Like a couple $1 million in charity disappeared, didn't go to where it was supposed to go to, and that money's been missing ever since. Those women have been missing ever since. Yeah.
Started to combat these negative behaviors. Nowhere to be found. But y'all, definitely, when y'all had an opportunity for somebody to ask y'all what y'all wanted in a political movement, y'all said child support. So that y'all didn't say, hey, you know what? We got an epidemic of us getting put in the dirt. Let's talk about that. No, all I saw.
Hell yeah, they said child support, because y'all are using kids as meal tickets. Like what? Y'all using kids as meal tickets. Yeah, they said child support, because we get thrown on child support the second you don't get what you want. Y'all don't use child support. Y'all really do it to spite the dad. So yeah, we got a problem with that, because you're also putting us in the system. Now, I do agree that Black men need to be wrapping it up. But like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's reasons to these answers.
Was thousands of videos from Black men about child support, when if you don't want to pay child support, you could easily keep it in your pants and not ejaculate into women that you don't want to be a parent to. That is just that simple. But we excuse the lack of sexual discipline with Black men as well. But nonetheless, all I'm saying is that you, and somebody can say BLM was a scam or whatever. I don't have any dog in the fight when it comes to BLM, but I can say that the actual, not the movement that was started. Well, I guess I could say the movement that was started, but not the organization that helped Black people somewhat to give them some type of solidarity, things for people to look for. I would love for y'all to tell me what Black men have done in the last 20 years that would even be slightly on that level. None. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I just Mike Siege, you said young ladies going on to baddies. And this is exactly what I mean when I say that you guys often have a skewed, unbalanced perception of what's going on. There are young women going on baddies. Yes, that is absolutely foolish. I have made videos about baddies and how that's a terrible influence on young Black girls. Do you know the percentage of young Black women that go on baddies compared to the young Black women that don't engage in that type of behavior versus the amount of Black men that engage in criminal behavior and glorify it? Like, that's literally a subculture in Black people. I'm being nice by saying subculture and not just saying culture, period. So what are we really talking about? And also the stats back up who's being influenced, because, men commit over 95%, I think, of all unalivings in the US. And I think it's like 92% or something globally. So that's not, baddies is not affecting Black women and Black girls the way that this culture is affecting Black men. So it just doesn't make any sense. Y'all never have any, I long to one day speak to somebody that actually has some intelligence. Really do. Oh, and then let me say something else, Mike Siege, where you said that, yes, it is. Well, let me say this. Who spent the last, several decades brainwashing Black women and telling them that they were only good for what's in between their legs, their 304s, their LUTs, their this and that? What Black men were doing that, right?
The Black men y'all wanted to listen to. Y'all didn't have to listen to those artists. Queen Latifah dropped a song called Unity in the middle of all that. Lauryn Hill dropped Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and y'all still didn't listen. Y'all still didn't listen. Eve came out and dropped her songs about thug love, and y'all followed behind that. I love Eve to death. But y'all went out your way to not listen to it. Anytime somebody tells Black women what to do, y'all don't listen. And look at what the music y'all are supporting now. Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Suki Hana, all them. When you got Rhapsody, Il Camille, Ricky Monique, Lady London, you got all of them out here y'all could be listening to, but y'all want to follow behind the thought rappers. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? At least back in the day when there was like Lil Kim and Foxy Brown and all them, we still had Queen Latifah, MC Light, and all them in the middle to clarify it. Now, when you break down where we are, it is nothing but that. Even Coco Jones just dropped this new video. Like, she didn't need to do that. That video was like, and I'm glad I saw Black people in the comment section basically saying you didn't have to do this, sis. You already got talent. And I said, exactly. She got talent. Coco Jones can sing. So why would she do a video like this? She didn't need to. But again, the choice to sexualize yourselves is also a choice that y'all choose to make. Just food for thought. Once again, like
NWA, Dr. Luke, Too Short, all of these Black men that push forth these narratives that Black women had no worth about. You don't see any genre of music that white tea being created for white tea women to call them 304s and LUTs and talk about all of these things. You don't see it. You don't, not an entire culture. So once again, where's the blame supposed to be? Make that make sense, please. Oh, go ahead, supervillain. Supervillain, did you have something to say, sis?
Yeah, sorry, that mute button, I swear it is the enemy of mine. I did want to say, and a lot of like the statistics that were brought up, especially with Black men engaging in degenerate behavior, I want to, and specifically Black women, to take notice that when we read things off like how Black women's heads are knocked off their body about every 3 or 4 unemployed Black men business hours, how the response is never, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. What can we do to change it? What's always a response? Bringing up Smexy Red or bringing up the single mothers who raised these degenerates? Like, that's always an answer. Because they don't care. They don't think us getting our heads knocked off our bodies is an immediate thing that needs to be solved.
We do think it needs to be solved. Like, what? We absolutely do think it needs to be solved. But the problem is, y'all get into relationships with these dudes. Y'all don't think. Y'all just jump and have sex with them. Then they start knocking you upside your head. But the problem is, you're dickmatized. So you can't leave because you're dickmatized. And that's the excuse that y'all use for why y'all didn't leave. I was in love. I was dickmatized. I was this, that, and the third. And we literally tell y'all he's beating you, you need to leave, and y'all go, you just hating. Or there's situations where Black men have tried to help Black women, and y'all jump him with the dude that's beating you. Wasn't there a situation, 2 years ago, where the guy and the girl was fighting in the car, the dude showed up to help the girl, the bull shot him, and she drove off in the car with him. But we don't address that part of the talk. It's always y'all are the innocent, fragile creature in a situation, and the dude's just beating on you. But there's so many different nuanced perspectives to this topic now that it's like there's only one. No way, no. There's multiple ways that this problem is not being addressed. Is because whenever someone tries to address it, you're still loving the sexual thrill of it all. And that's our problem. We can't pull you away from somebody that you keep wanting to sleep with. Period.
When I hear a statistic and it's Black women and it's negative, you know what I think? Damn, what can we do as sisters to change that? But that's never, ever the response on the other side. So when they like to bring up both sides this, both sides that, I want to just give an example. If the white tea police were knocking black men's heads off as much as black men knock black women's heads off, would y'all be okay with that? Would y'all be just fine and go to bed not toss a turn at night? Would y'all be okay with that? No, they wouldn't be. But because it's happening to black women by the hands of black men, it doesn't matter. Again, it goes back to the protection. They rather protect their image than actually solve the problem. They rather look right than do right. And I'm really so tired of this narrative. You know what? They can blame black women for COVID-19 at this point. At this point, I just want black women to be left alone. I don't expect anything from these men. I know y'all still got it in your heart and the faith, and I understand it. For my sisters who still got the faith, all power to you. But at this point, I just want us to be left alone. They call us degenerate. We're no good this. We're weave wigs, baby making bastard, we're weave wig wearing, bastard making baby mamas. We're all of these things that they won't leave us alone. They won't give us our peace. I'm so tired of it, Trigger. Honestly, I'm all the way done at this point. I'm asking, humbly asking. I'll never ask a black man for a thing in life. I would ask that y'all just leave my demographic alone. If we are so terrible, stop sleeping with these women and making more baby mamas that y'all hate and want to blame everything on.
Vice versa. If these men are so bad, why do y'all keep sleeping and making kids with them? You see how that works too? But that again, that part is never addressed. Y'all are sleeping with these men just like these men are sleeping with you. And I tell both parties, if you don't want these situations, stop using sex as a crux for whatever decision you're making. Because let's be honest, a lot of black women will go, I had to make sure the sex was good before I got in a relationship with them. So y'all are giving your bodies up for free because you have to make sure the sex is good. So you're already doing it that way. Then it's the idea of, oh, I got, the dick got to be good. And I'm just, what I'm saying, I'm going to keep finding. So I find somebody that the sex is good. I'm going to keep, what I'm saying. And then you use that sex as a leading point of, well, now I can be in a relationship with this person, which is a very stupid, stupid, stupid mile to go. But y'all choose to go that mile. Not all of you, but a good amount of you do. So again, if you want to talk about, oh, black men need to stop sleeping with black women need to stop sleeping with black men just so that the sex is good, so then you can move on with the relationship. That's stupid. And black men, this is where the issue comes in for me. Like I said earlier in the live, I was going to address this. This is where the older black men were a problem back when I was young bull back in the 2000s, because the older black men in the community was like, yeah, young boy, you got to get it in where you can. You got to get as much sex as possible. You got to hit him and hit him and hit him before you settle down. Pumping that mindset into us when we were young. Thank God I realized how stupid that was, because who would have known where I'd be right now? And there were a lot of black boys who did not move that way. But those were the black boys left out in the cold. The black boys who went around trying to get as much sex as they could, they were the ones who were rewarded by the women. But we don't talk about that. Why don't we talk about that? I didn't see the women gravitating to the sexually disciplined men. I didn't see the black women gravitating to the men who were, I'm not going to be running through all these girls. I didn't see that. I saw the women gravitating to the fuck boys and Dirty Dick down on the corner and the boy who was piping two girls on the block and they knew about each other, but they was competing. Now he got two baby mamas. I saw those dudes getting more love in the community by the women than the men who weren't moving that way. So again, the pendulum swings both ways, baby girl. And you got black women who are still engaging in overly sexualizing culture, sex out the wazoo, getting pregnant by one night stands, and this, that, and the third. And those guys who are participating in it are the guys y'all need to be talking about, which y'all are. But at the same time, it still sounds like, and I get where the guy's coming from, it does still sound like, yeah, it's still most, if not all, black men, and it's really not. And that's just, it's really not all black men.
Just stop. Go into other communities and do better. But they won't do that. What happens when they go to other communities? The same results. They literally yield the same results.
That's not true. There's a lot of black men who went to other races and are married to other races of women still. what are y'all talking about? Yes, there are some black men who, but again, the black men who are a problem in this community who get rewarded in other communities are rewarded by the women who act like y'all. If you ever pay attention, there are white women who try to act like black women who end up with black men who beat them and cheat on them and everything. Look at Bad Baby, perfect example. Alabama Barker, perfect example. And then you got regular old Becky, who just was like, I like him because he's kind, smart, and does this and the third. And she took him from y'all, and she's not getting abused. She's not getting beat on. They have good conversations. They have a family. Then you got Maria, same thing with her. The black girls who want to act, it's the Hispanic girls that want to act like y'all and be hood and this and the third. And then the same results from that y'all get because they're attracted to the same men that you are. And that's where the problem rolls in with the Hispanic girls. And the same thing with some Asian girls. A small number, but some Asian girls do it too. Then you got the other races of girls who do it too. It's the women who tend to act like y'all who have these results with black men. The women who don't act like y'all have better results with black men. Why is that the case? I thought so.
The only thing that's different is they're not going upside those women's heads because they have men in their community that won't have that. I yield.
All right. Okay. I did want to respond to somebody in the comments that talked about like black women listening to the same music that was created to degrade them. Yes, that absolutely happened. But I think that you have to ask yourself, why didn't black women start a movement or a music genre strictly built on disrespecting and degrading black men? Why did black men start that? So you would have to talk about that. And programming from TV and music and movies and media is real. So at some point, black women began to be accepting of the disrespect because it's all they knew was the disrespect coming from their men of them. There were no songs, oh, I want to uplift you, I want to do this and that, da, da, da. All it was is get on your knees. You a 304. That's all you good for. And all of these other things. So ask yourself why men that are supposed to be so great, if that's what you're saying, created a genre like this in the first place. And I'm tired of y'all blaming everything on the white T-man, because if everything is a white T-man's fault, why in the world are y'all always uplifting his daughters? Huh? Why are y'all always marrying his daughters and having babies with his daughters and talk about how much he's better than the women that you come out of? So the white T-man can't be that bad because you love his daughters. So I want to hear that the white T-man made you do it. Because if the white T-man made you do it or he was oppressing you so bad, why you stay up inside his daughter? Think about that. Like, honestly, I'm not trying to hear that. And y'all always love to say, well, 85% of black men to get married, marry black women. Black men marry the least out of all races of men. So
yes, we do marry the least out of all races of men, but that does not mean we're the least married. We're more married than y'all. As a matter of fact, our marriage rates have gone up over the years. We are married at a 36% rate. Is that lower than other races of men? Yes, but it's growing and getting bigger. So let's keep that part in line with what you just said as well. We are the least married out of all races of men, but we also are in a community that does not value marriage. If we had a community like other races of people who valued marriage before children and valued marriage in general, we would be more married because we would have more women to pick from outside of a bunch of baby mamas. Y'all have more kids than us. Y'all have less marriages than us. Y'all have more kids out of wedlock than we do. And on top of that, black men are more willing to be stepfathers because for some damn reason, we have made that a trend as well. So please spare me with this crap.
Let's not talk about the millions of white women that y'all staying at their houses, y'all using them, y'all running through all these different white girls and all of this other stuff, because that is actually occurring as well. Because more of y'all don't get married than do get married. So that's not even an accurate percentage that you can even use. Anyway, let me just keep going. Let's see here. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing very good, baby. I just want to say this, man. Well, if you look at history, black men and black women have been working side by side together and struggling with each other for the beginning of time. All right, we've been cleaning houses for the white man, they toilets, driving them with their
black men were cleaning houses.
Hold on.
No. You already started off wrong, because I don't know who the hell you yelling at. Like, that's I'm not your baby mama. I'm not your mama. I don't know you. I don't owe you shit. So you better watch your tone when you talking to me. That's number one. I was about to ask you.
That's a damn lie.
Exactly. That's why I was about to ask him a question like, excuse me, who was cleaning houses? Because that was strictly a black woman assignment. That's the reason why I was trying to interject before he started all that yelling. Like,
I
for
said
real.
we was working side by side together. Black women was cleaning houses, and the black man was the butler and shred carpenter. The black man was the butler and shred carpenter. What are you talking about?
Okay, hold on, killer. Bye, you gone. Because I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, anybody that addresses me, what is you talking about? You're a ghetto hood booger that's probably out on the block right now and got about 3 felonies under your belt, which is why you feel so upset about what I'm talking about. Because if you were a law-abiding, college graduate black man, you wouldn't even be in your feelings like this. So I don't talk to hood boogers. I don't talk to ghetto filth. So you can go on and get your little ugly self off my thing. For real. And
And I
anyway,
already
I
know
feel
he was
like men
coming
that
in.
take pictures, men that take a selfie while you're in your car, that lets me know that you're probably homosexual in the first place. Because why don't you have anywhere else suitable to take a picture other than your car, huh? Like, you're a loser. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry about that.
I already knew what he was coming with. Is everybody in the comments talking about, oh, he was coming with the, oh, black women have a part to play in this. Black women, like, why is it that when it's time for the black woman to carry her cross, bear her cross, we will do it? Okay, yes, we have our things that we can be held accountable for as well. But that's not the conversation that's being had.
Exactly.
Right. And when the conversation is being had, y'all don't want to hold y'all cross. So no, but that dude, he didn't even get to really land his point. I wish they would have let him land his point, because he, in a way, is correct. From the beginning of whenever we got here till now, we have struggled side by side to some degree. Not 100% hip to the hip, but we have struggled together. Before the 60s, we understood that we struggled together, but somewhere around the 60s, 70s, everything went upside down, and now we can't get along. And 50 years later, it looks like we still can't get along. So there's something going on.
Having a conversation specifically about a very targeted demographic, period. Why are people in the comments coming talking about, oh, black women, this isn't about us right now? Why can't you guys have a conversation about yourselves honestly?
Just one second. Just 1 second, Bill. I just wanted to talk to you, Mike Siege, forever. I don't like your energy. I didn't like how you were speaking. Your attitude is just as disgraceful as your yellow teeth are in this profile photo. And my thing is that, sir, I honestly, if your teeth are yellow and it's coming through this selfie, my God, I can only imagine what the back of them teeth and them gums look like. All right. So why don't you do me a favor, sir? Go brush your freaking teeth. Go get you a water flosser. They are about $25 on Amazon. They don't cost that much. Fill it up with some warm water. And for the love of God, squirt that water in between your teeth. Squirt that water in your gums and get that plaque up out of there. Do you know that plaque can cause heart issues? And it looks like you're a bigums. So you don't need that, sir. You look like you need some blood work and a good diet plan. All right. And a good dietitian. So you're the last person that needs to be talking about anybody. All right. For real, I can already tell you're part of the problem by your jersey, by your sunglasses, by your yellow teeth, by the ignorant way that you were speaking and how you look. I already know that you are exactly the type of Negro, or can I say the words of supervillain nignogs, that we talking about. I haven't roasted somebody for a long time, but if you don't get your behind up out my life and go get on the track and go run your big behind somewhere, that's disgraceful. Because what if you do need to fight the white T-man? How you gonna fight him? You ain't got enough stamina to do nothing. Because I can tell you overweight, out of shape, and you probably get out of breath walking up one flight of stairs. So go do something. All right. But most importantly, for the love of God, brush those chompers. Damn it. Now, anyway, go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry. He was just going me, bro. Like, he was going me.
Girl. I was saying it just all comes back to the lack of accountability. Like, and you see it with every single guy that came up here. Not one single male that came up here said, you know what, maybe that's something to look at. Or you know what, maybe let me do some research for myself. No, the conversation is always, well, what do women do? What do women be doing? What are you talking about?
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. Justify says, she said, worry about your tits before you worry about ours. That's what I'm saying. Because those are definitely moves. You know what I'm saying? Man boobs, a man and boobs moves. Those are definitely moves that you got, Mike Siege. So, and you got Mike Siege forever. You should change it to Mike Fitness forever. Because that's what you need, fitness. You know what I'm saying? And I really, like I said, I really don't want to talk to somebody that has gingivitis, you know what I'm saying? And periodontitis. Like, you have bigger fish to fry. You have way more things to be concerned with than black women. Like, you really need to be concerned about your teeth. Seriously. Like, do you want dentures at a young age? That's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want dentures before you get to be 50, even though you look like you're kissing it. You know what I'm saying? Do better. If you don't learn anything from today, do better and brush your teeth. Because my goodness, you need to brush them in the morning and at night, and make sure that you brush them at night, because brushing them at night, my dentist told me, is way more important, because everything that you ate that day sits on your teeth. So it's very, very important for you to brush at night. Seriously. So you need to make sure that you do that. Honestly, Mike, do that. If your mom didn't tell you that, I'm telling you that today. And also, see if you can get you some type of Medicaid so that you can at least get a deep cleaning. Because my God, you need a deep cleaning. You know what I mean? And also, just one more tip for you, since, people probably think that I don't love black men. Here's one more tip for you. If you want to lose weight without putting that much effort into it, you can alternate day fast, which means you go 46 hours without eating. I know that sounds like a long time, but it's not. It's like a day. Well, I think it's like 36 to 38. You can start off with that. That's normally what I do. Alternate day fast, and you don't eat that full day, and you don't eat for 12 hours the next day. And the weight will fall off. And you won't have to even adjust your eating plan. You know that? You don't even have to adjust your diet. And the weight will literally fall off your body. But anyway, that's all I'm saying to you, brother. So I send you that with love, all right? And I also, if you send me a P.O. box, I will send you a care package with oral care, all right? Okay, go ahead, supervillain.
You are too much, but I might try that 36-hour fast you talk about. I could shed me a couple pounds. I ain't gonna be a hypocrite and lie about that.
Oh, it really works. Like if you get like a fasting app too, it's like a fasting app is called Easy Fast. It's free, and you just mark in like 36 hours that you're gonna start. And it really, really works. And if you feel like, you're getting a headache or something like that, if you drink a little bit of water with some salt in it, this really works. I know everybody thinks I'm being funny, which I am, but this really does work. Like and you don't have to adjust what you eat or anything. And the weight will just literally come off. Like it will fall off your body. If you can have the, the discipline to not eat for that 36-hour window, I promise you the weight will fall off your body. And all you have to do is every other day. So like fast Monday, eat Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Fast Wednesday, eat Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And it really works. It really works.
I want to say something. You brought up a point, and I did not want that to go without reiteration. Earlier, we were talking in a conversation about how, our counterpart demographic like to put white tea women as a better class of women or a better representation of women, and how they love to blame black single mothers for black men coming out degenerate. So I just want to know if it's the black women, if it's women that cause the culture of how children are raised, and the black women or the black single mothers are the reason why these black men are coming out degenerate. How come y'all love white tea women so much? Aren't they the reason why these white tea men are still racist and using y'all as as pew-pew targets? Like, how come y'all never make that correlation?
Because still, for the most part, when white women get with their men, they get with the men that make the most sense, not the men that makes them wet in the pants or the man with the most swag with no character arc. See, when white girls go to college, they tend to get with the guys on college campus with them. Or when they go into their career, they tend to get with a guy who's in the career with them or somewhere around that type of way, or even a really good career. And on the most part, yes, there are some degenerate ass white boys out there in like middle America where them sundown towns still exist and all this other stuff. But those same women who are out there in those sundown towns with them are completely okay with it. But most white women are not raising their sons to be degenerates, nor are they even dealing with the idea that their son has to look like the man that hurt them. That's really only in our community where the women dress the kids to look like the men that gave them problems, or dress the kid to look like his father. Now, are there degenerate white boys for them for the most part? Oh yeah, there's degenerate boys in every community. But the difference between the white community, the Indian community, the Asian community, the Hispanic community, and our community is those men are not worshipped and given unequivocal respect like the men who do that shit in our community are. See, you get a white drug dealer, he's going to get a low tier white woman. If you get a black drug dealer, he gets a high tier black woman. And a high tier black man cannot get access to her until after she done evacuated her room with the low quality man's kids. So it's still a different dynamic from when that whole situation comes down, because white women understand the men that make sense to reproduce with for the most part. Now, do they fuck up? Yeah, they definitely do. But white women tend to still have their kids for the most part in marriage, where y'all most of the time have your kids out of marriage. That's the difference.
I just want to know. They never say, "Oh, white tea women are the reason why white tea men are unaliving us in the street every 3 to 4, again, unemployed business hours." But they'll love to go in that it's black women's fault they're degenerate. I just wanted, and that wasn't a lesson for black men, by the way. That was a lesson for black women. Just recognize that, because when they're degenerate, it's our fault. But when white tea men are degenerate, it has nothing to do with white tea women. It's absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'm gonna just say the truth. They don't care about us. They don't. It's unfortunate and it hurts. And I don't want. It doesn't give me joy to say things like this and come up and report these type of things. But I just need Black women to move accordingly, to navigate accordingly.
All right. Okay. All right, super villain. I'm gonna block look down here, but because you have a blank profile and you're trolling. But like when you said the Black single mothers go for pookies and act shocked, nothing new. I think that you have to understand that the majority of y'all are pookies, and I think that that's something yet Black men have refused to acknowledge. When y'all talk about the fact that why are these Black women choosing these Black men that are unsuitable, the majority of y'all are unsuitable. You know, and sometimes women don't know in advance that you are unsuitable.
So the majority of Black men are unsuitable. So that means the majority of Black women are? What? That doesn't even make any sense. If she was coming from a point that most people aren't suitable to date, that'd be one thing. But she's trying to make it seem like Black men are majority of the problem with the dating market and that Black women have no part in this issue. Y'all absolutely do. And this is a part where it needs to focus on y'all because you have Black men who are willing to be good men in the community and y'all don't pay them any attention. What the hell are we supposed to do with that information? Lay around and die? That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. 54% of Black men don't have children. 46% of Black men do have children. 61% of Black women have children. 39% of Black women don't have children. So where's the problem? And then you have the dudes that y'all say are the problem in the community, but somehow they keep getting women pregnant. Ain't that something? Nick Cannon got multiple baby moms. Future NBA young boy. I can go down the list. There's a guy down south. He got what, 30 kids, 34 kids with like 17 women, and they all knew about each other, and they didn't care, and they kept reproducing with them. That's not a problem. We're not going to talk about the women who keep getting in line to be baby mama number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 willingly with no problem at all. But we're just going to keep saying the men are the problem and there are less suitable men than women when there's always one dude getting multiple women pregnant and a bunch of guys over here with no kids. I can't throw a stone in the Black community without hitting a single mother. You can do that with Black men. You can throw a stone into a group of Black men. You'll hit a dude that don't got kids. Just keep that in. That's ridiculous.
Suitable, but the majority of y'all are unsuitable and unfit for marriage or partnership. It is a rarity that you guys are actually doing something that you're supposed to do. That's the reason why people like Keith Lee, you know, a Black man is positive that seems to really love his family and love his wife is so like regarded so highly in the Black community because we all know that those men are rarities. Those men are very, very in short supply. So think about that. All right, look, and let me block you. Look, you talking about you're in medical school with a blank profile. We're not here for the cap. I'm just gonna block you. I'm gonna block. Look, y'all, he's gone. Yeah.
Can I point out, Chicken, that even and see, it's not that just proves a point. It's not just the quote unquote air quotes Pookie and Ray Rays. Even the dudes that go to medical school think and come out with the same, like they yield the same.
Girl, he ain't in no medical school, girl. He ain't in no medical school.
Listen, I ain't here to deny nobody, invalidate nobody's story. But even the medical school, I'm gonna say, even the ones in medical school they yield the same results. And I did want to say it's Black women. A lot of y'all don't have foresight when y'all come up here and say Black women are the reason why these Black men are so degenerate. And then also say that most Black women are single mothers, then that by just math alone would equate that most Black men are degenerate, shouldn't lead and shouldn't be trying to be pillars in the society. That means most of y'all are degenerate by y'all own words. If you do the math, we shouldn't be listening to y'all. So does it make sense for y'all to come up here and be giving advice? And again, y'all say most Black women are single mothers and most Black women single mothers raise degenerates. That implies that most of y'all Black men are degenerate and we should not listen to y'all. Again, y'all don't listen to what y'all say. Y'all spew rhetoric that's not just harmful to Black women, it's also harmful to you. I just want the math to be known because I don't think there's no foresight when they're saying these things.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with what you said. Like I said, I'm not gonna do this like a really long live today, y'all. I really was hoping to get to about an hour. We got like 3 minutes left before I get there, cause I got some plans today. But this was really on my mind, this topic, because when I was on Instagram and I was just seeing everybody making all these excuses for 50 Cent and like his bad behavior, his trolling of his first son and all of this. And I was just like, wow, like there's really a double standard here. And then even with Kanye, you know, he's out here exploiting this white tea woman. But I'm gonna tell you, I feel like she's getting something out of it too. I don't know what, but something, I guess, fame or clout or whatever. But when that white tea woman, you know, does her tell all and, you know, turns on Kanye and tells the whole world that he's been abusing her and all of this stuff, the world's going to believe her and he's going to go down even worse than he's gone down previously. I think he won't recover from it whenever this girl decides to go left. But the fact that he is still regarded as some type of genius or freedom fighter for the Black community is so disgusting to me, because if a Black woman did half of the things, not even half of the things, if she did 10% of any of the things either of these men have done, she would be talked about so badly. Look at what happened to Meg Thee Stallion. She got pew-pewed by a Black man. She was a victim and became public enemy number one and still is at the hands of a lot of Black people, Black women included. So can you imagine if a Black woman was out here behaving like 50 Cent? She had 2 kids by 2 different men, and those 2 men were up on in social media talking about how she don't take care of her kid and she don't treat them right and she treating them bad and this, that, and the third. Black men will be going insane. They be going H, bro. You know what I'm saying? But because these are Black men, it's cool. Can you imagine even if the Black woman was parading around a white tea man, it wouldn't matter if he was white tea or Black. She was parading around a man and treating him like an object in the fashion and degrading him the way Kanye degrades his quote unquote wife. Can you imagine? There would be nobody that would call her a genius. If a Black woman came out and said slavery was a choice and she was out there with Trump with a MAGA hat on, like, be for real. There would be no love for that Black woman. And it's very upsetting. Like, when you can see.
There would be no love for that Black woman from Black women, because Michaela Montgomery been catching hell from Black women being open about supporting Trump the whole time. So again, you're saying it like we don't get these problems. We get these problems, but you can't come on here and speak on behalf of a whole situation when half of that problem is from your demographic. And a large amount of it is. I don't even support Trump. I don't even support Kamala Harris. I don't think we should be participating in something we don't benefit from, which is voting. So I didn't vote because I don't like either party. I'm independent. Just another food for thought. There was the other system. You had the Turn Chicago Red people. You had a lot of people that is pissed off with the blue party right now.
See the very obvious double standard, but Black men will still come in alive and try to pretend that they don't see it. That's what's disturbing to me. Or if you call out something that's a real thing, you'll have a Black man like that goofy dude, Highway Dre, that came up here. You sound like you on some Cynthia G stuff. Yeah. Well, how come y'all don't sound like y'all on some hateful stuff when y'all over here tearing up Black women every business day? How come that when we say that, you say be accountable and take this abuse and shut up? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like y'all have so many excuses for your behavior, why you dropped the ball, why you unalive us, why you unalive you, why you don't work, why you have the lowest literacy rate, why y'all don't do anything for your communities, why you have all of these billionaire Black men that do nothing to build up the Black community. They don't build any like, neighborhood stuff strictly for us that are not crime ridden and preying on the Black community. Y'all don't say anything about any of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like I said, it's very upsetting that it's very obvious to see that Black men are protected and Black men are given a grace that is not given to Black women. And every time I try to talk about it, it's always Black men that come in here and act like they don't see it. Now, if you don't see it, then there's something wrong with you, period. You know what I'm saying? And it's really just that simple. Like, I just can't wrap my mind around it. But like I said, I feel like right now, I don't know if anybody else feels this, but I feel in my body that America is on the precipice of something truly frightening. You see Elon Musk out here proudly acting like he's making decisions for the American people, and this Negro is not American. He's over there in the Oval Office with a hat on and his son, which I felt very weird about that. Like, it was lightweight disrespectful, and like it was lightweight letting us know that we're actually living in an oligarchy, which I already knew. But I think this is more out in front of your eyes, that we have no control as citizens. So I think that there's a lot more to come. You know what I'm saying? A lot more to come. And it's very upsetting because I don't think that Black women will ever be able to right now be able to depend on the collective of Black men. Now, if you have a man, you have a dad, you have a son, you have a brother, you have a nephew, you have an uncle, and you know that those are good men because you know them, personally or whatever, I have a Black husband, then that's fine. But I'm talking about, I don't think that we'll be able to rely on the collective of Black men if something goes left, which I really do feel like something's about to go left. Like, if anybody can't feel this in their spirit, unsettled, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you're living through a decline of a society. That's what's happening. America's collapsing on itself because we've been stupid for too damn long. And now the reality's kicking in, and you're saying we can't depend on black men, but y'all also didn't try to do anything either. Y'all just kept perpetuating the damn cycle, kept perpetuating the generational curses and all that stuff. Y'all didn't try to fix it. If anything, whenever there was a positive black person, y'all didn't want to hear it. And y'all are no different from the men. The men and the women didn't want to hear it. Neither body wanted to hear it. People still don't want to hear it. Man,
you got Elon Musk making posts about, the American people being parasites because they want Medicaid, old people want Social Security, people out here that's broke want SNAP food assistance, while he makes $1 billion a day. Was it $1 billion or $3 billion a day? I can't remember what it was. Like, it's either $1 billion or $3 billion a day. To me, that's scary to me. Like, that you can literally be a white tea man that is not even from here and make way more money from the government, but you're mad because somebody's getting $250 in TANF. You know what I'm saying? To survive. Like, if y'all don't see that there's something going on, I don't know what to tell you. I'm scared, and it's unfortunate because I don't feel like black women have the base that they should have of support. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because black men have never been willing to step behind black women. They haven't, not as a collective. So, yeah, I don't know. All of this is scary to me. You know what I'm saying? I just, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I feel like we as black women need to tighten up, for real. We need to tighten up, protect ourselves. If you can get a pew pew, you need to get one. Go arm yourself and just keep your head on a swivel. But even with all of that, I still don't know if that is enough for what is about to come. So I can say, if you believe in God, which I do, you should pray. Pray for your protection and pray that you know how to make the right moves whenever whatever goes down is about to go down. Because I think that America's going to implode, in my opinion, within these 4 years. Like,
as long as you know, because that's exactly what's about to happen. Now, the other big thing is, if y'all would just listen to black men who are not telling you what you want to hear, y'all be fine. Y'all listen to Umar, y'all listen to Derek Jackson, Tony Gaskins, Ace Metaphor, Boyce Watkins. That's what I meant to say. And y'all just don't want to hear what the black men who aren't pandering to you want to tell you. We understand everything y'all are saying, but y'all need to listen to the ones that are trying to make a difference. The minute the black women start listening to those men is the day you will see a different community.
it's going to be a totally different America. And I think democracy will be over, period, in my opinion. But this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, and I don't think that voting is going to help you. You know how people tell you, oh, vote locally, vote for state. I think that we're past that. And
like I said, black people don't vote because it don't benefit us.
I believe that, yeah, something's about to happen that we will have literally no control over. But that's just, like I said, my opinion. I don't speak for Supervillain, because I'm not for sure if she, Supervillain, you got restricted. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they sent me a live as well. I don't know. Whoever is in here is hating. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. Anyway, Feisty Goddess, you said, what is God going to do for black people? Well, I believe in God. So, and that would take us down a whole different thought process with what we're talking about. I do believe in God, and I do believe all of this is happening for a reason, but I'm not here to debate about the existence of God or not. I if you don't believe in God, that's cool. I'm not here to change anybody's thought processes on, belief or not belief, because I don't care. At the end of the day, we have our own walks to do. Either you're right or I'm right, or I'm wrong or you're wrong, but nobody will ever know until they pass away. You know what I'm saying? And I always say that, you just make sure that you're making the right decision, because if you pass away and, there is a God, then you in trouble. That's it. I don't think that if you believe in God and you pass away and he ain't real, there's nothing that you're gonna, so that's all I have to say about that. Well, I believe there is a God, Feisty. So please don't be disrespectful to my belief system. And I try my best just right now not to be disrespectful to you. So please don't do that. I'd appreciate it. Thanks. But I do understand how that can be touchy. So I'll let you live, with saying that. Yeah, thank y'all. Yeah, thank you, Brooklyn Shanae. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I believe in God. Like, I can't let nobody speak against that. Like, if you feel that way, just go on and get up out of here. Go on, get up out of here and say those thoughts on your own on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because just like you say, I don't got no proof that there is a God, you don't got no proof that there isn't one. So get up out of here. Everything that you believe about that, you got from somebody too. So it is what it is. But anyway, okay, I just got a request, y'all. I'm gonna let Keisha K speak real fast, and then I'm gonna get up out of here, you guys. Feisty Goddess. I'm gonna have to block you. Bye. Cause I already told you I don't want to talk about it. So you have to go. Okay, go ahead, Keisha.
Hey guys, what's up? So I've been listening to what you've been saying this entire time, and I just want to say this: like, what I don't think what Black men realize is the simple fact that if they just take the accountability, that's all it takes. Taking the accountability to change certain things. Like, they act like Black women have not gone through the struggles with them, like segregation, Jim Crow, slavery, et cetera, et cetera. We have been through all of this with them, yet still we don't use it as a crutch of why we don't want to do better. We are still surpassing and excelling them in a lot of ways. And I don't think they realize that. They're the only ones who's talking about, oh, we're this, we're oppressed, we're this, we're that. In some ways, yeah, but not really where it's enough to hold back the collective group of Black people. We're not, because we have better choices now in today's society than we ever had 30, 40, 50 years ago. And that's just the truth. So I think that they're comfortable being subjugated, comfortable being on the bottom, because once they're on the bottom, they can always point fingers and blame. So if they're on the bottom, they don't have to do better, if that makes sense.
Also, Black men at the bottom get more sex and more respect than the Black men who move correctly. Like that's just the reality. That's just the honest reality. I know way too many dudes who don't have jobs or anything else, but they got 5, 6, 7 baby mamas. And then dudes who have jobs and all the other stuff, they ain't got nothing. They don't even have a woman on their team supporting them. So the Black men that you're talking about, where y'all are excelling around them, yeah, those are the type of men y'all love to be with. The Black men that you're not excelling over, you don't want to be with because of the power dynamic. That's just straight up facts. This dude right here, he's not as pushover as the dude that you're attracted to, because this guy right here has standards. He has a life he wants to maintain. He has a lifestyle that he likes, and he wants you to understand that, because he worked to get where he is. The guy that you're attracted to, that you have kids with, you don't have to expect none of that from him, because he doesn't expect that from himself. So it's easier for y'all to deal with those men than it is the men with their stuff together. But the catch 22 is, when y'all deal with those men who don't have their stuff together, you end up more devastated than dealing with a man who does.
Makes sense. So I realized that. And, us as a group of Black women, we try every day to be better. They're quick to say, oh, yeah, well, you guys was the one who raised the single mothers raised sons. Yeah, guess what? The daughters were raised in the same home dynamic system as well. And the daughters are doing much better on average than the sons.
Yeah, because you coddle your sons and you make your daughters harder. You put all this, go to school, get a job, this into the daughters, and you baby the sons. You put the boys in Jordans. You buy him a PS5 and all that other stuff. You don't make him do any chores around the house. You don't, like, these boys are coddled by the moms. And it's funny, before y'all go off and say other races of men aren't, I heard from Hispanic women that the same thing are for Hispanic boys. The moms coddle their sons and baby them, and that's why Hispanic men got that machismo masculinity too. So it ain't just us. But I've been hearing a lot of stories about that. Yeah. And then on top of that, I want to add in, before you want to, you got a lot of Black men who try to be mentors and all this stuff to the boys in the communities, and the moms actively got in the way. You can't tell me nothing. That's my baby. Da, 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 da. And then, you're not doing your end of the couch to break down what we're trying to break into him. And then when he's big enough to walk out the door and you can't stop him, that's when y'all want to go, oh, I need someone to talk to him. I don't understand. Brothers are tired. We've been trying. We've been trying to lift our end of the couch and we've been trying to do all this other stuff while trying to make y'all happy, while sexually satisfying y'all, while trying to make as much money, while trying to do this, and it's not good enough. Y'all don't want to hear nothing. But again, I digress, because y'all refuse to acknowledge y'all part to play in this problem. Now, she is going to actually address the part that the women playing a problem, but I wanted to bring that part up first because that's the truth. So this woman right here is actually about to be real honest.
And they both came from the same single parent household. What does that tell you? What it tells me is the simple fact that it's a choice. Whatever path they choose, it's a choice. You know, they're quick to say, oh, yeah, well, single mothers, yeah, I raise these sons. But guess what? Ain't no single mother out here teaching her son how to flip a brick, how to hold a pew-pew. They're not doing that. So to me, it makes no sense to say, oh, well, y'all raise them, y'all raise them, y'all raise them. No, what she did was send his black behind to school, and he chose to do what he wanted to do, whether he wanted to graduate high school or not. And based off of that statistic, we see that they only finish high school at 47%, not even half. They're only graduating high school at 47%. It's a choice. They choose to go to school or not go to school. They don't value education, you know?
Keisha, I would just say that in response to what you said, like I totally get your perspective. I'm not giving you any pushback on it, really.
Yeah.
Other than to just say that I think that a lot of it also has to do with the fact that Black women unfortunately coddle their sons, and they make it seem like it's okay for them to be low performers, but you know they're really hard on the girls. And so Black women, we don't have no choice but to do better and to be better and to succeed, because that's the only thing that's acceptable of us. It was like, hey, you gonna do it, you gonna do this.
Yes.
And I think it's also like, because you know how like there's no grace for Black women. So if a young Black girl, let's say she gets pregnant at 15 or 16, nobody says, oh, you know, it's the white T-man, it's the system that they put in place that pushed her to this point to get pregnant, even though that could be the case. But nobody gives her that grace. They just tear her up and say that you better succeed no matter what, girl. And so she forces herself to succeed. But when a Black man does literally anything, he can unalive somebody, rob somebody, you know, rape somebody, beat the brakes off of somebody.
So I don't know if this equivalates to the what she was saying, where like Black men only graduate high school at 46%. But in 2022, 94.3% of Black non-Hispanic males had a high school diploma. And that means 94% of Black men who graduated high school had their high school diploma, which means 94% of Black men who actually get to the finish line have a diploma, at least their high school diploma. In 2021, 76% of Black boys graduated high school compared to 87. So 76% of Black boys who were in high school in 2021 graduated high school. And then the number went up in 2022. So we are improving our rates. I don't understand. We are still lower than white men. Absolutely. That is a fact. But our numbers are going up everywhere. Now, I will admit the 5 lowest counties with the lowest graduation rates among Black boys are Detroit, Philadelphia, Baltimore City, Minneapolis, and Oakland Unified. Now, I don't know if that might have something to do with the culture in those specific cities, but it might have a lot to do with it. Now, that is unfair because a lot of Black boys not getting out of high school is unfortunate. I would like to see more Black boys get out of high school, but we're graduating at a pretty legit rate. It's not perfect, but it's if 87% of white boys get out of high school, that means 13% of white boys drop out, which means a lot of white boys don't have their high school diplomas either.
It's a million Black women coddling him and saying, oh, king, you could never be king. You're still our Black king, our Black brother. And these Black men, they realize that they can always be low performers around Black women, whether it's their mothers, their girls, their sisters, daughters, whatever. And that is very unfortunate. And, I think that until we can actually, stop Black women from being indoctrinated with that type of thought process, Black men won't do anything anyway, because they want the bare minimum. It's the same reason they're the only ones that are proud to say, hey, yeah, you live in my house and you with me, you got to pay half the bill. You ain't going to stay home and relax. But like, excuse me, isn't that a man's job? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, ugh. It's so gross.
It is. No, you are absolutely correct. The coddling has to stop. It really has to stop. And I think that is I'm not going to say the main reason, but I think the coddling is one of the reasons why, most Black men are so comfortable in pointing fingers.
I also want to iterate something that is great to read again. In 2022, 96.2% of Black non-Hispanic females had a high school diploma or higher. So that means, 94% of Black men have a high school diploma or higher, and 96% of Black women have a high school diploma or higher, which means y'all do graduate high school more than us, but it's not like a landslide victory. And if that's the case, who were y'all dating or running into or sleeping with that don't have their diploma? We got to ask you that question. Most Black men I know got their diploma. Most of them. I'm not gonna say all because I can't really guarantee, but for the most part, a lot of dudes that I know got their diploma. They at least got out of high school. They may not have went to college, but they got out of high school.
Because they have been so coddled so long. To an extent, taking accountability is like someone speaking French to someone and they only know how to speak English, if that makes sense to you. You know, so to me, it's like, it's one thing to say, okay, you know, mom coddled him, et cetera, et cetera. But once you become an adult and a person knows right from wrong, they knows right from wrong, they're an adult, they're not mentally challenged, their five senses about them work, they understand life a little bit, just a little bit more. There still should not really be an excuse when it comes to certain things that should be considered common sense. And that's how I look at it, because they're so heavy to always want to point fingers at Black women and be like, oh, y'all need to be held accountable, hell, okay, all right. And the thing is, we do. Most of us do. I'm not gonna lie. Most Black women, we do take accountability. It might not be done publicly, but in private, we do. We do. And that's the reason why a lot of us choose to go to school, get the education, provide a roof over our kids' heads for those who have kids. I don't have kids, but I have nieces and nephews, you know, and stuff like that. And to be honest, most women don't, we don't want to, they don't want to choose to be a single parent. It's something that just happened. And like I said, it's one thing to say, okay, you know, these two people did not work out in a relationship, but that does not alleviate the man from his responsibility. And that's all, you know, Black women talk about when it comes to the, you know, the accountability of men and their children. Okay, not because y'all did not work out mean that you must neglect your child. That's crazy. That's always going to be your kid, regardless. But to them, if the relationship is over, okay, forget the child too. That's how they think. No, seriously, that's exactly how they think. And I think it's sad. I think it's sad. And they're so hell bent on, oh well, you know, single mothers raise these kids and that. How are they going to blame the parent who stayed and not talk about the parent who left? Like, make it make sense.
And another thing I want to bring in, over the past 15 years, Black men have improved their graduation rate from college from 28% to 35%. So we're improving even in college numbers too. We are the least demographic to go to college, which I really thought was Hispanic men, but it's us. Black men have lower college rates than other demographic groups, including Black women. But what y'all don't want to add in the fact that many Black men are first generation college students, which tends to affect us because a lot of times, if you're a first generation college student, there's a good chance no one else in your family went. So they're from the same situation you're in, which makes paying for college more of an issue, which here says here Black men lack the income or savings to pay for tuition. Because college is hella expensive, we don't tend to get as much access to scholarships as Black women do. And many Black men work full time and have family responsibilities, which is me. I currently go to school full time and work full time at 30 to get my bachelor's because I couldn't afford it when I was a kid. I'm almost done. I'm about to have my bachelor's degree, but I had to go back later because my family couldn't afford college. And I wasn't getting loans and scholarships like that because things that take place. But I kicked all that to the side and I'm still pursuing my degree now. I'm not going back for my master's because it just took me too long to get out of college and I'm ready to be done. And I do want my master's. If I have a job, I was like, hey, we'll go half on it, you know, or a job that will pay for it, then I'll go get my master's, just for a side note.
Make it make sense. Like, they don't think that, okay, if the father was in the child's life, even if the father is not in the home, co-parenting, being actual active father, it would have made a difference. It would have made some type of difference. But they don't look at it like that. It's like everything is the single mom's fault. The single mom's fault. Like, seriously? So she's the only person who made this child. The way how they go about it is like she's the only one who made that child. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Like, they're so quick to tell us to take accountability, but they're the ones who are the kings of no accountability. And I see that. And that needs to stop. They're quick to call us out on whatever BS they think they want to call us out on. But when we do the same, oh, we hate all Black men, we this, we that, and they start crying. Like, but again, like I said, they have no problem in telling us where we're messing up as if they are the person who should be correcting anybody. They're not. I'm sorry, it is what it is. The vast majority of them are not in the position to correct Black women. They're really not. How are they going to try to correct one group of people who's doing better than them in the same community? Make it make sense.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Keisha, for sure. I think that everything that you said made perfect sense, and that's something I've always questioned as well. Like the idea of somebody that's not even in as good as a position as you are, trying to critique you and criticize you or anything. I used an example one time. I said, let's say is somebody that was on my 600-pound life, and they're sitting there and they're telling you how to lose weight, and you're only like maybe 20 pounds overweight, and they're telling you, oh, you need to do this, that, and the third. You're gonna be looking at them like, if you don't get out of my face, like you're not even living the way you trying to talk about me. You over here trying to tell me I don't need to eat Chick-fil-A today, and you over here, you know what I'm saying? Like I totally understand it. I don't think that Black men really look at it that way. But I'm gonna go to like this take my kids and my husband. We about to go to this VR place and today, so I gotta get up off of here, y'all.
Yes.
But I would really love to have. I would love to have a conversation with y'all, all you ladies that are here. Further, and that's why, Lady London, I just want you to know, if you're still in here, sis, I did see your request, Lady London, and I would have loved to hear what you had to say. But you always have good things to say. It's just that I knew that I was about to end it, and I didn't want you to have to like cut off your comment. But anyway, I will see all of you guys later. I appreciate you so much. Keisha, I don't think I've ever had a chance to speak to you before. So
No, it's the first.
Okay, great. Okay, that's what I thought. I think that you're a very intelligent Black woman, and I'm so glad I got a chance to meet you today. And also, I wanted to say thanks for Super Villain coming up. It's always good to hear from you, Super Villain. You know, you always have good things to say and intelligent things. And like we were saying in the comments, even if we don't agree about something, because I guess it was the existence of God, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if everybody has their.
Okay, so that's that. So that's pretty much the end of that whole thing. I just do not understand how the women that came up on the page to say what they were saying don't get the part that they play in the problem. I understand where Black men have our issues and it's been addressed, and I get why Black women are so angry. But I gotta ask the question: where are y'all meeting these dudes? Where y'all meeting these dudes at? Because like it's a lot of brothers on college campuses with you that y'all somehow managed to not get. So you got to be going somewhere to get them. A lot of y'all go to the club. Y'all like to go out in the streets. Y'all like to go here, where the brothers who have common sense aren't most of the time. So what are we doing here? But anyway, if y'all see this, please let me know how y'all think about this in the comments. I'm at almost 2 hours, which is a long live. I know there are people who go way longer than this, but this is long for me. And I was just glad putting this together. I've been wanting to do a second live for a while. I thought this was a good topic to cover. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Had a good time with me. I had a good time just trying to build my platform up. And I guess lives are the way to do it. Excuse me. And yeah, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next one.